the Yankees have his number for whatever reason, so hopefully we can kind of get through because I think the Indians are going to go to the ALCS. I mean, how do you think they match up hypothetically against Oakland?
I don't think anybody matches up against Oakland. That's the thing. It's like, the postseason is huge about who's coming in hot. And, the Indians had their 20-game stretch probably, what, was it last year where they had the 20-game winning streak, or was that the World Series year?
No, that was last year.
They won them 2. They won 18 in a row 2 years ago, and they won 20 last year or something like that.
But, this is a team that always goes into the postseason hot, and I honestly expect them to catch fire here pretty soon. But if Oakland continues to play the way that they're playing, I don't think that anybody can beat Oakland in Oakland. So the Indians will be lucky if they have home field advantage.
I think the Indians win that series. I think they're in the LCS. No, God, it's going to be 6 or 7. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, sorry, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll go. Oh yeah, no, it'll go the distance for sure. It won't be easy, but they're a good playoff team, good playoff manager. They get hot, like you just said, always at the end of the year, it seems, and
those
especially
are Tito
when they
teams.
play bad teams.
All the Tito teams, it seems like.
And their lineup is the scariest it's been in 3 years. Their lineup in 2016 kind of sucked. Their whole team kind of sucked. I don't know how they did it. And last year they were good, but they weren't amazing like this. I mean, Ramirez.
The emergence of Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, and Lindor just continuing to do what he's doing, and the rest of the team is picking it up. And pitching-wise, the emergence of Bauer this year, just being a stud. So you got Kluber, Bauer right there, 1-2 with Lindor and Ramirez. I mean, that's equivalent to Betts, JD, and Sale and Price. So
yeah, I see what both of you are saying. I kind of lean towards David on this one, and they're experienced as well in the postseason, and
right.
And they have a postseason manager, but I can definitely see where you're coming from, Austin. I mean, they're almost too young to be caught up in the moment, because they probably don't know any better.
They don't even know that they're not supposed to be there.
Right.
Would not be surprised if Oakland wins and beats us and wins the World Series. Wouldn't be shocked at all.
Chris Saunders, good friend of the program, said that they remind him of the 2008 Rays. And I texted him and I said, if they do the same shit that the 2008 Rays did, I will suspend our friendship for 3 days. He was like, only 3 days? I was like, yeah, I can't hate you that long.
To be fair, the only reason the Rays did that was because I think, I'm going to go out and win.
This number 2 starter on our team.
96% of our team was injured that post-series run. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that was a big reason why.
Yeah.
Relief David Price.
Yeah, David Price, relief, coming in, throwing 1,000 miles an hour.
I was just looking at the Indian schedule to see if they might be playing the A's in the final month, but they are not. So it would have been interesting. Cause
I think they have a pretty easy schedule, considering that their division is an absolute joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
probably the worst division in baseball, to be honest.
You could honestly put a roster of the other 4 AL Central teams, and it'd still be a joke. Or the other 3, I guess, AL Central teams, and it'd still be a joke.
Right.
Yeah, even the Twins at this point, they're a joke this year.
It'll be interesting, though, to see which of the two gets the 2 seed, essentially, because the Indians do have an easy schedule.
That's what nobody's talking about.
Right, and the A's and the Astros and the Mariners, like you guys said in the start of the podcast, all play each other quite a few times. So that tells me, none of those teams are going to be much above 500. As they, just as they play each other, they might have some easier sets in and around those series. But it'll be an interesting race. For the 2 seed, yeah.
I think that Houston is actually going to wind up winning the West, right? Because they actually close with 4 games with Baltimore, 4 games with Toronto, and then I think 3 games with Baltimore to close the season. So that's a huge advantage huge advantage Houston, let's put it that way.
Yeah, true. And, well, yeah, you're right. I was about to say Gibbons and Showalter might be managing for their jobs at that point, but who really knows? So, But yeah, it's going to be a fun.
Do we think they take? Do we split? Is that what we think? Like,
yeah, realistically, I think
I'm honestly thinking 3.
If we take game 1, we got a legitimate shot at 3. But I don't think we take game 1 because I think Kluber's just in a zone right now. So
if we take game 1, I think we sweep.
Honestly, that's tough. I mean, it'd be great, but I mean, with the fact that we got to play, I mean, Brian Johnson's good, right? We love him. He's been good this year, but this team's pretty damn good in Cleveland. So it'd be tough to see it. And Carrasco's 15-6 this year.
He's amazing.
Yeah, so it'd be tough to sweep. I don't think that's possible. But I mean, anything's possible. We swept the Yankees, right? But I think if we win game 1, it's 3 out of 4 is very possible, but I still think we split. I think we win the Eovaldi start. I think we win the Price start. I don't think Johnson pitches awful, but I just don't think we get the win there.
Well, this is a big start for Eovaldi, too, because it's somewhat of an audition for the postseason. If he comes out of this with a start similar to his first 2 against the Red Sox, and one of which was actually against the Yankees in there, then, the game 4, I guess, is where he would slot in, or where, who else would slot in, whoever beats him out, I should say.
Him or Erod.
Yeah,
game 4.
Right. So I guess, I don't know, he's a righty, and Cleveland has had a lot of success against lefties, and Erod's a lefty, so... And Eovaldi has kind of scuffled a little bit. He's been the victim of some bad defense, though, which has kind of, boosted up the run total a little bit. But that's an interesting start for me anyway. I'll be really curious to see how he gets through that one.
Yeah, no, I'm interested too. And he against a division-winning team in the Phillies, because either them or Atlanta will win that division. It will be close. He pitched really well. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 86 pitches. Only got taken out because the National League sucks and the pitchers have to hit. But no walks, 5 strikeouts. So he pitched really well there, and it just kind of showed that he can pitch against good lineups. I mean, he pitched against the Yankees. He was great. He pitched against Philly. He was really good. He pitched against Minnesota. He was great. So hopefully he keeps it up, and it'd be good to get him in there. And it is a little bit of an audition, like you said, which is nice, but it's also just like an insurance thing. So if you want to go with like a crazy and unorthodox Price in the bullpen, which I don't think Cora would do at this point, but you could do it. If you want to run 4 people, you can do it. And it also just kind of shows some faith in, say Price or Porcello have a rough outing against somebody in the DS and they only go 4 innings. You could bring in Brian Johnson, but you could bring in Eovaldi for 3 innings to get you to the 7th or 8th inning too, and that would be nasty as well. So a lot of moving parts, and it's a good problem to have, as Eovaldi has lowered his ERA. When his ERA go over from the trade, it was a 4.26 when he got traded. It is now a 3.62. So he's been real good.
Yeah, and that ERA was blown up by that 8-run start against the Twins right before he got traded. One guy that I think is going to get absolutely destroyed, and I think it's really going to happen this time, is Brian Johnson. And, because that lineup, like I said, feasts on lefties. He's a lefty, and it just depends on how good they are with hitting off-speed stuff. And if they are, I think that game could possibly be a bloodbath for us.
Yeah, I mean, this would be the one, and a little off topic, not off topic here, but it just caught my eye. I'm on ESPN right now, obviously looking at Eovaldi's stats, and it showed the video playlist of, a couple people, Week 15 power rankings, and John Farrell has the Yankees as 1, the Astros as 2, and the Red Sox as 3. So just wanted to throw that out there. That's what John Farrell thinks of the Week 15 power rankings.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, I gotta. That's. I'm gonna get all over that on Twitter.
Yeah, you'll have to go. You have to go find the clip. It's on. It was on ESPN. I was just on their website, but if you go find the clip and just go to the Red Sox page and go look at like the standings, or just Google it or something, you'll find it. But I just saw it there. It was interesting.
Okay, Yeah, I don't know how much of the anti-Farrell crowd still pays attention to me, but also interestingly, I know the matchup isn't sexy. You guys were talking about Pluto and Price, but this is also a big start for Price because that's a lineup that tuned him up in that awful 2016 series that we'd like to forget about, but he needs to look good here, and he's got the momentum to do it, and there's really no reason whatsoever he should have a bad start. Like, he's been absolutely dealing, and I think if he comes out of this game similarly to the previous ones, and especially the last Sunday night start against the Yankees where he pitched very well, then that goes a long way for him as far as October goes.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think that he needs to have a good game here, and he doesn't need to get a win. We talk about all the time. Just give me a quality start. That's all I need out of David Price. Every single time he goes out there, it's a quality start. I don't need Chris Sale numbers. He gets paid for Chris Sale numbers, but it's not his fault what his contract is. He's not an ace. He's not a legit one. He is a really damn good two, though, and he needs to pitch like it. That's all. Give me 6 or 7 innings and give me 3 runs or less.
Are you going to cry your eyes out when David Price is the ALCS MVP?
Oh, my God.
No, I won't.
Tears of joy, he will.
We're gonna need like a video, like after they announce the ALCS MVP, just live reacts. It would be amazing.
Well, I'll see if I can screenshot you some of my old Rick Porcello stuff from 2015.
I saw some of them.
Okay, because I hated that guy. The only difference with Price is he gets feisty with the media, and I don't think he really owns some of it, and Porcello, for the most part, just, does take accountability quietly. And so I think the fan base kind of turned on him, for the better. And there's a strong faction of Red Sox Nation. Right now, I would say it's probably about 40 to 50% that absolutely hates David Price, and they're probably never going to like him. But
it's his fan base, though.
It is what it is, and but I'll definitely quiet down. And if he's the ALCS MVP, I'm gonna boldly assume that he probably had a good ALDS as well.
Yeah.
So some of us will come around.
I want to win the ALDS. Like, if we win the ALDS, I'll be the happiest kid on the face of the earth. It's been so long since we had a playoff series win.
Yeah. Did I tell you that tweet I had where I said, do you guys know what being 50 games over 500 really means? It means
I like that.
You better fucking win the World Series, because in restaurants everywhere, they're going to rename the Heimlich maneuver the Red Sox maneuver, and and we definitely, like you said, at least have to get past the LDS, and whatever happens after that, every team that's going to make the postseason on the American League side is absolutely stacked. So there wouldn't necessarily be any shame to me if we lose the LCS. It'll be painful, but I won't be one of the ones roasting Dombrowski or Cora for it. And maybe if Cora has an epic blunder, but I'm not going to be like #fire Cora for it.
As long as it's a competitive, LCS. If we get swept or losing 5, I'm be pissed.
Yeah,
not going to be a happy kid.
True.
Also, on the resting pitchers, just real quick, because I feel like we're getting ready to wrap up here. In the league this year, Chris Sale is the 36th pitcher for most pitches thrown in the MLB.
How awesome is that?
Rick Porcello is 23. So I would like to give Porcello some rest for sure, but he's not even in the top 20 for thrown pitches this year. And for players that are in the top 20 that are in playoff teams,
Severino, one of them.
Severino's 6th, but Keuchel and Verlander are in the top 5. Scherzer